I just want to actually speak with y'all about my new insight as far as the Nazca Sun Star that I've been studying here recently and sharing the studies with you all. Now, the thing is, I've been realizing that, or I've shown in the past at least, this information right here. I should let you know the routes that you walk on before I show you where I'm at now, above ground. So, what I wanted to show you is this right here. I've speculated in the past, I've paired these things together. There is something out here called a Garmin weather radar. And with these Garmin weather radars, after you've looked at the Nazca Sun Star, you can see that this looks just like my discovery that you see here on the screen. See that? So when you look at what the Garmin weather radar, I'm showing you, like I say, the roots, the past, in order for you to comprehend where I'm at now. Because when I'm showing you this information, you have to understand that when you look at this right here and the stuff that you see out there in the Palpa Desert or Nazca Desert, such as the Sun Star, you see stuff that looks like radar screens. And that's why I'm showing you this. Not to be too fast or anything, but out there you can see with the 18 other stars, things that look like information like this. Lines that are going, it looks just like this. That's not a good one. I'm trying to get a quality one to pop up. But you see things that look like this. Even Nazca lines that have, you see them look like that. Skinny and then widen out, things like that. Now that's called a weather radar. But when you look at a radar screen and you look, first off, you have the hardware and software, right? So the hardware or the computer that you see is right here. And that looks just like this, right? The software or what would be being communicated, if you could understand the Nazca Sun Star at that point. Which when you look at this Sun Star, you can see that it has something that looks like radar screens. If you comprehend what I'm saying. This is information that I've shown in the past. So you have a radar screen. And when you look at this radar screen that you see here, it doesn't look too far off from what you see there, right? So I'm not saying that that's something that was used, the Garmin weather radar. That's not what I'm making this video for. I'm showing you that there's something macro, because macro going on there, possibly. Okay. So what I'm showing you is in this video, the microscopic, my new revelation, as far as if you read the description of this video, it mentions the microscopic aspect of things, which I have not even thought about, have not considered. So one thing I have said in the past is up above that wet, like I mentioned, a weather radar here, the macro of this universe is all of that weather or so-called astronomy that you see out there, all of the stars and stuff out there, that is macro weather. The weather that we have that's like a skin over the earth is a local weather. That's the stuff that affects you day to day, right now. But if you could look at the things like the clusters out there of stars that are being born and stuff like that, the different bodies of, I forgot what they're called, that look like clouds, and I think it starts with a D. I can't remember right now. It's at the tip of my tongue. But they look like clouds from in space, though. I'm mentioning what I'm mentioning because all of that stuff found out there in space is macro weather. That's stuff that affects you long term. Those are so-called like clouds that we have here, but that stuff affects the Earth hundreds to thousands of years from now. All of the stuff that happens far out there, because this whole universe, like you're seeing with my work right here, this whole universe is an interconnected like clock system. And when you think of the gears of a clock, when one turns, it causes all of them to turn. The function, it goes into the whole functionality of the whole, because they're all connected. And so that's what I'm saying as far as the macro weather or the stars and all of that stuff out there affecting us here right now. A long time from now, not like the weather right now, the micro weather where you actually are affected today. A rain cloud could come hit you right now. So why did I mention that? The other behalf is, as far as the revelation being, I've already showed that past information in the past, is orbits of atoms. Now this is another thing to consider, because like they told you, as above, so below. I'm not saying that that's just the end all be all, or that I even witnessed that in nature, but I am showing you right here some very important information. Because when you look at this behalf of things compared to what is out there and what you see, there are some things that are worth considering. You see the 45 degrees aspect and cell splitting, same type of stuff that you see right here. If I showed you this, you can see that right there geometrically without the numbers, if you understand that. When you're dealing with even things that are big, in order to manipulate the micro, like CERN, when you're dealing with CERN, they're dealing with atoms, small particles, and things like that. And so that's a huge something the size of a city, I think. I can't remember how huge it is, but it's huge. The CERN hydrogen, it deals with this stuff, hydrogen particle collider or whatever. Very important to mention. So when you look at the orbits of atoms and you pay attention to that of the Nazca sun star, how they have that there, there's a possibility, all I'm saying is showing that the microscopic kingdom is something that has to be considered as far as what they're communicating something about. Because this thing zooms in and expands out. And it might at that point just be a bridging factor between the two. When you're dealing with time travel, you have to understand that as well. So anyway, that's what I had to show you all here in this video as far as the orbits of atoms and electrons, protons, and neutrons that revolve around them. It looks strikingly similar to that of what you see with the Nazca sun star. As far as the circles that are on the outside, that which lands on the center right there, that's a whole different story. This right here is even visually appealing when I consider what my work looked like. But think about all of the circles that you see at the Nazca sun star that you see in the center. Uh, yeah, I mean all of the dots that you see in the center. Just to show everybody what I'm talking about. You can see that this is the real deal thing for the people who are new to the channel and have not ever seen this information, heard of a Nazca sun star. This is what it looks like. And they have dots or rocks, concentric circles. And that's what that looks like, accompanied by the other two radial circles around on the edges. And that's the Nazca sun star. and me mentioning the microscopic aspect of things, which you have heard nobody mention as well. So this is, like I said, this is a study that I'm doing that no school is backing or anything like that. And I've made history. I literally have. I have to stress that. And I appreciate everybody who comes through and shows any interest and is a part of the journey. And I thank everybody that carries out the same activity in the future. Because one thing's for sure is that this is well founded, like roots founded a tree. It's very hard to get rid of stuff like this. I hope everyone has a beautiful day in life.